record this conversation. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Applying Ethology webinar series hosted by the Animal Welfare Slack workspace. I'm Christian Nafrot, and on behalf of Laura Salazar, Sebastian Gomong, and Jianguan Chu, we thank you for joining us today. Before we start, it'd be great if everybody could help double check their microphone is on mute and whether the camera is turned off to avoid any disturbance for the speaker. If you have any questions or comments, please type them in the chat box and we can go through them at the end of the talk. Alternatively, you can also just raise your virtual hand after the presentation. Today, we are happy to have Dr. Kanakaraja, who will be talking about how the rearing system shape Kenguri sheep welfare. He is a veterinarian from India with a master's degree on livestock production and management and is currently pursuing a PhD at the ECAR, National Dairy Research Institute in Karnal, India. He received the Andrew Fisher Veterinary Student Animal Welfare Publication Award from the Australian and New Zealand College of Veterinary Scientists for its latest publication. And without further ado, I'm giving the stage to Kanakaraja and his presentation. The floor is yours.
Yeah, can I start the presentation now?
Yeah, you can start.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening from India. Myself, Dr. Kanakaraja MG, presently doing a PhD under the Division of Livestock Production Management, ICAR National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, Haryana, India. So my topic today is to present on comparative assessment of body condition score, that is BCS, fecal soiling, place quality, and lameness, both in intensive and extensive rearing systems under welfare of Kenguri sheep. So here it goes like this. First is introduction. As you all know that animals are considered to be the sentient animals which are having good welfare under circumstances like without any sickness, injury, illness. Then only they will produce and reproduce better. So welfare and health, they are the both aspects which are having a hand-in-hand relationships which are influenced by the predisposing factors which will affect the overall productivity of sheep farming by enhancing the production. Next is some of the public's perceptions about sheep welfare and products which are important to improve the socio-economic status of sheep farmers. So next is, in India, there is a huge demand for mutton due to globalized nutritive value of sheep mutton. For fulfilling that demand, it is essential to improve welfare-based sheep products. In the picture, you can see the 6 strategic goals like sheep comfort, positive welfare, thriving lambs, healthy feed, collaborative sheep flock management, appropriate body condition, which is given by UK Sheep Welfare Strategy. In the below picture, you can see the species-wise meat contribution during the year 2023 in India, wherein sheep contributed around 10.51% of mutton production in the overall meat production of India. So next is total sheep population in India. Here you can see that during the years 2012 to 19, there is a drastic increase of about 8 to 9% of total sheep population, which is highlighted in the first bar graph, here in which we can see total sheep population during the year 2012, that is 65%, that has increased to 74.26% during the year 2019. In the next below graph, we can see state-wise sheep population in India during the year 2012 and 19, here in which we can majorly concentrate on the study area, that is Karnataka state of India, here in which we can see around 1.5% of sheep population increase from 9.6 to 11.1%. As per the recent reports, the Kenguri sheep population in southern parts of India, that is Karnataka state, here in which Kenguri sheep is rooted to Raichur, Koppal, Yadgir, that is Deccan Plateau of Hyderabad, Karnataka region of Karnataka in India, is showing around 6.7 lakhs of sheep population. So next, coming to the peculiar sheep breed, that is Kenguri breed itself. The breed has given name after a dark red color coat, that is Kenguri, or the color resembling the coconut husk color, that is natively called as Kenguri in India. They feature medium-sized rope ears with short tail. The body size is more than that reported with other breeds of sheep in Karnataka, that is Bellary, Hassan, and Mandya. So in the below graph, you can see that there is a drastic increase of sheep mutton production from 2017 to 2022 recent years here in which we can see during the year 2022, there is 136.25 tons of mutton production has been there in Karnataka state of India. So next, coming to the welfare principles and criteria given by animal welfare indicators, that is AWIN by Ware and co-workers during the year 2015. As you all know that there are 4 welfare principles. Under that, we have 12 welfare criteria peculiar to good feeding, good housing, good health, and appropriate behavior. Under good feeding, we have absence of hunger and thirst. Good housing, we have comfort around resting, thermal comfort, ease of movements. Under good health, we have absence of injuries, diseases, and absence of pain and pain-induced management practices or procedures. Under appropriate behavior, we can consider the expression of social behaviors and other behaviors with good human-animal relationships along with the positive emotional state. That is a positive state of cognition of an animal. Next, we come to 5 freedoms of animal welfare, AW, on 3-circle model of AW, that is animal welfare on affective states. Here in which, in the picture, you can see at the left, 5 freedoms of animal welfare given by Dwyer and co-workers in 2015. That is freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injury, or disease, freedom to express normal behaviors, and lastly, freedom from fear and distress. Here in which, at the right side of a picture, we can see the 3 circles connected with each other. That is, one is representing basic health and function of an animal, second is natural living of an animal, third is affective states of an animal, given by Appleby and Sandow during their 2002. Here in which we can keenly observe the affective states of animal means they have 3 affective states like fearness, distress, or painfulness, or suffering. They are called as 3 affective states of an animal. So next is demographic details of a particular study area. That is, we have chosen Yadgir district from Karnataka state of India. In the map, you can see in the Karnataka state entire map that Yadgir particular study area, which is highlighted in the vertical. That Yadgir district, the study area is an agricultural district divided into 2 agroclimatic zones like Eastern Transition and Northeastern Dry Zone, wherein which we can see the socio-economic profile of farmers, agricultural farmers, which are divided in 4 major categories as tabulated in the table. Like main source of income for the farmers is majorly driven by agricultural activities, that is 38 number of farmers contributing 76%, followed by other activities like private service and livestock business. Under land-owned domain, here in which major sheep farmers or livestock farmers or agri farmers having 2.5 to 5 acres of land, which is contributing to 42%, and others farmers are having just 0.2, 0.25 or 2.5 acres and above 5 acres of land. Next is livestock possession, here in which the major farmers are having sheep and goat rearing, which is contributing to 42%. Other farmers are having cattle rearing along with poultry rearing. So last domain is annual income. This is a major impact which is driven in like developing countries like India, here in which we can clearly see major farmers are having less than 50,000 rupees of annual income. That is contributing to 48% of the total out of 50 farmers. And other farmers are having 50,000 to 1 lakh and above 1 lakh annual income. So next, coming to major objective of this particular study. Here we have assessed the welfare aspect of Kenguri sheep as per animal welfare indicators. That is have been given by Dwyer and co-workers during the year 2015 for the sheep. So next is material methods, here in which we have selected the intensive and extensive forms entirely from the Yadgir district of Karnataka state. In the map itself, we have indicated the star mark and circular marks. Star mark is indicative of intensive forms and circular marks are the indicative of extensive forms. Throughout the entire talukas of a district like Yadgir, Kurmitkal, Vadgere, Shahpur, Musvi, Shorapur, we have selected all the locations based on the availability of sheep population, that is Kenguru sheep population. So in the flow chart, we have divided the total 50 extensive sheep farms and 35 intensive farms from the study area. We have taken 20 extensive farms, which are having further divided as 10 small farms, less than 100 of sheep, and 10 large farms, which are having more than 100 of sheep. And here in which right side, 20 intensive farms we have selected on the based on same category, that is 10 small farms, which are having less 100 of sheep, 10 large farms, which are having more than 100 of sheep. So all the data was collected in the unusual forms prepared based on animal welfare indicator assessment protocol for the sheep. So next is, we have divided actually the entire study of welfare assessment protocol for sheep into two groups. Like first one is first level group assessment, here in which we have assessed the group of sheep in a particular form by observing the entire group of around 20 minutes for the each sheep form. We have assessed the welfare protocols. In second group, we have assessed the individual sheep from the sheep forms available, here in which we spent 5 minutes for the each sheep for the individual assessment of welfare. So coming to this particular domain of study, we have analyzed individual sheep for around, as I said, 5 minutes. Below are the assessed 4 animal-based indicators, here in which we can see first one is BCS, which is graded as emaciated, which is having less than or equal to 1 score, thin, that is less than 2 score, having that, and the next one is good condition, having a more than 2 or less than 4 score, fat, that is having a more than 4 score. Here in which this indicator A is influenced by good feeding welfare principle of a welfare assessment of a sheep. So next is fleece quality, here which is graded as good, which is having sufficient wool, and some loss, that is having less than 10 centimeter of wool loss. Next is significant loss, that is having more than 10 centimeter of wool loss. So next one is fecal soiling. This one, sorry, this one also graded as no fecal soiling, that condition is graded as 0. Very light soiling, that is graded as 1, and light soiling and dags, which is graded as 2, and soiling and dags, which is graded 3, extensive soiling and dags, which is graded as 4. The last one is lameness. This animal-based indicator is graded as not lame, that is 0, minor lameness, that is 1, lame, that is 2, severe lameness, that is 3, and all these BCD animal welfare-based indicators, which will come under good health welfare principle of welfare assessment, given by Dwyer and co-workers. So coming to the result aspect, in the table, we have tabulated the 4 major animal-based indicators as I discussed earlier. That is, here in which we can see body condition score, that is having better good and fat body condition scores in intensive than that of extensive rearing systems, which are highlighted. And the emaciation and thin body condition scores are prominent in extensive rearing systems due to the unregulated feeding systems, healthcare management in extensive or pastoralism compared to the intensive or tied or tethering system of feeding in sheep. Here in which the BCS itself shows that better management practices like feeding, housing, good behavior, and appropriate health are prominent in intensive than compared to extensive. So under fleece quality also, we can see good fleece condition is more in intensive system than that of extensive, and some loss of fleece and significant loss of fleece are eminent in extensive system than that of intensive. Next is fecal soiling, here in which percentage of animals having no soiling or very little soiling is more in intensive than that of extensive. As I said earlier, in intensive system, we have better managemental practices with the regular cleaning, with the good labor numbers in intensive forms than that of extensive rearing. And in that, we can also see the light soiling, soiling and dags with extensive soilings, which are eminent in extensive rearing systems than that of intensive rearing system. The reason remains same, due to lack of proper management practices. The sheep will tend to roam around in the thorny or muddy areas of extensive pastoralism fields. They will get that soiling and dags, extensive soiling, and etc. Coming to the last domain, that is lameness. Here, no lameness condition is prominent in intensive than that extensive, because as I said earlier, in extensive system, sheep will tend to move in the thorny or hilly areas during the like outside grazing or ranching, I can say. So minor lameness, and severe lameness conditions are eminent in extensive rearing system, that is pastoralism condition, which compares to intensive, that is less. So coming to the conclusion part, I can say that welfare aspect of sheep reared in extensive or need to be improved when compared to intensive system. So poor body condition, broken wool, soiled fleeces, or foot lesions, which are more witnessed in extensive rearing than that of intensive forms. So welfare issues noted can be improved through proper managemental practices and through setting appropriate welfare standards in extensive rearing systems majorly. compared to that of Indian rearing systems under Indian circumstances. So for Indian context, I can say through this study, we have some of the future scopes like development of automated welfare monitoring systems, which will aid in future research, which focuses on integrating sensor technology and artificial intelligence, that is AI, to automate the welfare assessment. So next one is genetic selection for improved welfare traits, here in which we can have understanding the heritability of welfare indicators of sheep, that is Kenguri, in this study, which can lead to breeding programs aimed at selecting animals with MAS, that is marker assisted selection, under the genetical studies for superior welfare characteristics of that particular sheep breeds. So last one is economic impact assessment of welfare interventions, here in which a crucial future scope involves quantifying the economic benefits for the sheep farmers under rural areas in India and costs associated with the implementing specific welfare interventions in both of the rearing systems, that is intensive, extensive rearing system. So we can have this kind of future scopes for this particular study. In the picture also, you can see implementing actions like engagement, dialogue, collaboration, evidence, progress, which are given by impatient welfare strategy. Here I cited one of my reference which I have taken during my research in the master's degree, that is Cathed by ma'am. She is a eminent professor in SRUC, that is Scotland Rural College in Scotland, collaborated with the University of Edinburgh. She is a well-known professor in animal welfare and behavior study division. I have been in touch with her since 2-3 months back. So I'm happy to present this work by citing her one of the welfare study of sheep. So that's it, guys. These are the references which I have cited in the work. So thank you for the opportunity for talking, for giving me a chance to talk on my work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanakaraja, for a nice presentation and a very good overview on your work. We are open for questions. If you have questions, feel free to drop questions in the chat. We can wait a little bit of time. Typing takes time. You can just also raise your hand if you want to ask a question. In the meantime, I would drop 1 or 2 questions that I had from the presentation.
Sure.
Your conclusion is that these individual-based welfare indicators are lower or indicate poor welfare for the extensive farms. Can you elaborate a bit more? Can you elaborate a bit on why this is the case? So, just my background is not extensive sheep systems, so I actually do not know what could be the reason for this. Is this the harsh weather conditions that lead to decreased body condition scores or fleece quality, or is it something else that has to do with the husbandry and management of the animals in the extensive setting?
Yeah, that's a great question, sir. Actually, I got your point. Under Indian circumstances, we usually have the unregulated and haphazardous extensive pastoralisms in major part of India, that is especially in southern parts of India, wherein sheep farmers, they're like shepherds, rear the sheep by shifting from one location to other location according to the seasons which are favorable for their rearing of sheep. They will search for this pasture lands or grazing lands so that they will be moving from one place to other with hazardous climatic conditions, harsh climatic avalanches. So during that shifting, so many of sheep will go under environmental stress, like other stress also, heat stress, cold stress, and etc. Due to this unfavorable environmental conditions, those animals will tend to get into the unhealthy conditions with low quality of fleece or emaciated body condition or other health issues like leg lesions, lameness, and during pasteurization, they maybe tend to have dystocia with no proper treatment by the veterinarians in the remote hilly areas of rearing of sheep. So these may be the contributing factors for extensive sheep farms, here in which we can see the compromised welfare assessment indicators. Hope I answered the questions.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Just a follow up on this. Is there any? I mean, if it's due to the harsh weather conditions, is there any way how to improve these welfare parameters or the health and welfare of the animals if it's up to the weather and the climate and the environmental conditions? So if it's not related to the management itself, what could be options to improve this, like providing shadow or things like this to improve the well-being of the animals?
Yes, that's a kind of interesting question. I got you. Actually, in this now, under pastoralism systems in India, usually the government systems will tend to provide the aids, some supportive measurements through veterinarians from the veterinary dispensaries or hospitals to the shepherds during the particular season of rearing of sheep. That is around during the, I can say, summer ends and the beginnings. They will announce some government facilities, like through farmers in the villages. They will announce that we are providing some temporary instant shelter provisions through blankets for protecting the shepherds themselves from the harsh climatic conditions during winters or rainy seasons, by providing torch, umbrellas, and some healthcare aids like dewormers and vaccines at the doorstep for sheep, which will reduce the wild diseases, which are the major threat of mortality in case of sheep. As we all know, the HS and BQ and FMD are the prevalent viral diseases which will cause majority of deaths for the small ruminants in India. So those kind of government aids and measurements can somewhat amalgamate and ameliorate these sort of welfare issues in extensive rearing system, that is in pastoralism.
Thanks. Great answer to this. We don't have questions in the chat, though. I would probably like to finish off with the last one by myself. With looking at fecal soiling, lameness, and others, have you also, or do you plan to also look at measures of the human-animal relationship in this regard? And
yes,
just a quick follow-up. And do you also think of, because this is like one of the very big topic in many animal welfare circle discussions, whether you also aim to include measures of potential positive welfare on this as well?
Yes, I got it. Actually, as you said, human-animal relationship, that is HAR or HAI, human-animal interaction, which will lead to positive emotional state of an animal, which will also reduce the shepherds, like animal owners' stress also. So here in which we can talk about positive animal welfare side, that is animal which is under good health condition, good feeding, good proper housing, and having a better productivity, which are the positive aspects of welfare. So along with this, human-animal relationships also carries the major weightage to express the positive cognitive states like happiness, like closeness among the farmer owners and animals. That kind of thing we can observe if we have developed a good relationship between the animal and I can say owner. That kind of study also, I have done little minor one of that aspect, but I have not showed in the actual presentation now. But it comes under this welfare assessment protocol, as you said, under appropriate behavior expression, that is welfare principle. In that we have HAR, like that. Yeah.
Thanks for the answer. So We don't have questions in the chat. So with that, I would again just wanted to thank you for your presentation, for your willingness to present your work in this on this platform here. And with that, I would also like to thank the audience for joining in, for listening in to this topic today, and maybe see you